This video is brought to you by Scout's Eyes. If you're a talented footballer and you want to get yourself in front of a scout, visit Scout's Eyes right now or click the link in the description.
3 games to go. People Arsenal have the chance to crank up the pressure on Man City. If they win today, of course, they play at home to Wolves later on, who will lead Julian and Robbie to look ahead to what the starting 11 could look like. Because for the first time all season, Mikel Arteta has a real headache. Jurriën Timber is fully fit and ready to play. What will the 11 look like? What will the bench look like? We're going to debate it all now. Get your comments in, get your thoughts in, and in about 30 minutes' time, we will have the answers. Welcome back to Lee. How are we?
Oh, I'm very good, thank you very much.
Julian, you're too far away. No, okay, fair enough. And Robbie, hi. How are we?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Looking forward to the game. Looking forward to the game. As you said, another cup final. That's what these all are, isn't it? Every single game is a cup final. 3 left. Win them and put the pressure on. That's all we can do.
That's it, Julian.
I'm
I want to hear from Julian first. That's all right. No.
He looks at me and says, I'd rather Robbie host. Yeah, there you go.
I'll go in order of insight, if that's okay.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, go on, Julian.
Yes, James, what was the question?
Well, do you agree with Robbie?
Not usually,
No,
but on this particular matter, then yes, we're going to enjoy it. I mean, we're in a position we've wanted to be in for many, many years, and I think we need to enjoy it. And yes, we've got 3 games left, and I fully expect us to win those 3 games. The only question for me is, where are City going to drop their points?
Where are they?
I don't know.
Do you think it'll happen?
I hope so, and I can only think that they will, and that gives me the motivation to think these games are important. Because if I think that they're not going to drop points, then what is the point of getting excited about the next 3 games?
Yeah, I hear that, Lee. I mean, it's a run-in. The pressure is. It's not like it is for the rest of the season. So actually, are we sort of? I know we look at fixtures. Of course, there are harder games, like, you know, trips to Tottenham we're looking at as a place where City could drop points over maybe Wolves at home. But the point is, the pressure of you have to win is a pressure that they weren't facing, say, February, and that always leaves you with a chance.
Yeah, it does, but you know, you're up against Man City that have been there before and know what it's about. So listen, all you got to do is just win our 3 games. That's all I want us to do. And if we get 89 points and you don't win the league, you just have to hold your hands up and say fair play. That you can look back at the season, maybe 1 or 2 things we could have done, but to get 89 points and not win the league, you know, listen, consistency's there, and we've had a fantastic week. You know, it's been another great week for us. I want to enjoy it. You know, this is like what 3 games to go. You know, in the past we've been sort of going, oh, well, it's all done for us. You know, but now there's something riding on it today. 3 games to go. Bring it on. You know, try and enjoy it as much as you can. I didn't enjoy last week's last 20 minutes. Thank you, Raya. But other than that, but once the dust settles down, how can you not enjoy what happened last week? You know,
yeah,
I mean,
no,
like,
ultimately, yeah.
You know, so you've got to just really enjoy it. And what if Manchester City drop points, they drop points. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing Arsenal can do about it apart from win their games. And don't make it easy for them. That's how I look at it now. Do not give them any free games now. Like, make it go to the last game of the season. And that's how I feel. And listen, we've been here before on a few occasions. Back in Arsene Wenger's days when we was hoping that Man United would slip up. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. You know.
That was the problem with last season. I mean, people always talk about the fall off with West Ham, Liverpool, the Southampton draw. They were bad, don't get me wrong. Of course, we lost the head-to-head against City. Well, that will happen. People forget that we did get ourselves back going, beating Chelsea and Newcastle. And then it was Brighton at home, who were having a very good season, as are Bournemouth. And that was when it really kind of fell off. And then we had the trip to Forest, and it just felt like at the end of it, having led 5 points clear, 8 points clear for so much of the season, we just gave it to them. It was such a fall off. It was a 10-point swing to the point where their last 2 games didn't matter. And that's kind of like, I'm not in it just to keep City honest. I think we have a genuine chance of winning it. But at the very least, you make them earn it. And we didn't do that last year.
100%. I also feel that if we was to win the league this season, it'd be one of the best sort of
achievements?
Best ever for Arsenal, I would have seen, right? Because when you look at our running, it's a difficult running, man. When everybody looked on it on paper, all the opposition fans, everybody, they said, oh, Arsenal, that running you got. You imagine you got Chelsea and Spurs in 1 week, right? We all know that they were both on a mission to stop us, right? You saw the Chelsea fans when they turned out at the Emirates with their little inflatable Champions League trophies, and they were all singing. I remember me and Julian walked past their fans. All they were singing about was Arsenal effing it up. That's all they were singing about. They came to stop Arsenal. They didn't. Dispatched them very easily. Then after that, you got to go away to Spurs, which one of the guys was saying to me earlier, it's the first time we've won their back-to-back in about 30 years, right? And then we go and we win that. You know what I mean? That's not easy. No. That's not easy. Away at Wolves, all these little sort of tricky games in our running, much more difficult than all the other teams chasing it. Still got to go away. If we win today, still got to go away to Old Trafford, which is a place that we've not won for ages. So if we can actually do it, win those games, and we won the league, it'd be one of our best ever. That's what we're talking about here. So we've got to credit this team. But what they've got to do today, can't take this game lightly. No. Right? You said it there earlier, like Bournemouth, you know, it's not the same Bournemouth we played earlier on in the season where they were pretty poor. They got this new guy's got them playing. Solanke's been scoring, you know what I mean, Cliver, they've got good attacking players. Right, listen, if we turn up, we beat them, but we have to turn up today. We have to be really, really motivated. Listen, there's no more motivation than what we've got, that we can possibly win a title. And strange things can happen in the title running. A few weeks ago, everybody said, including the supercomputer and all that, including all this spreadsheet, everything like that, right? That Liverpool were going to win the title because they had the easiest run.
My spreadsheet didn't say that. The supercomputer might.
Well, everybody said that Liverpool were favourites to win the title.
They had the easier running, didn't they?
They had the easiest running, and look, you don't know. Listen, City, like Lee said, they've been there, they've done it, they're used to doing this, but you never know, man, what can happen in a game of football, and that includes to us. And that's why we've got to take today seriously.
I've always had a soft spot for Wolves as well. Like,
I have as well.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Wolves, they've got to go away to Fulham. You never know, Fulham's that bipolar team.
Spurs? You know? Soft spot for Spurs?
No, listen, my worry
even on a Tuesday night on...
My worry about Spurs, right, is the goal average. And I think that's why it's key today that we win by at least 2 today, like, you know, because I think that...
You think City will demolish Spurs?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll tell you why, because if Arsenal should have beaten them 4 or 5-0 last week. Once you're 3-0 up at half time, the worst scenario was a 3-0. We messed it up a little bit, like, you know. If they are in that position, they will muller them.
Can somebody please, why do we keep going on about goal difference?
Because it could.
When we're wait 1 second.
7 goals.
We're 7 goals ahead of Man City. We've got 3 games to play, right? So there's other games. Today's just about winning. Whether it's 1-0,
they're capable, Robbie, of beating Wolves today by 4.
Yeah, but then we're capable on the last game of the season of, you know, if we really had to, of putting 4 past Everton. And actually, at the moment, it's not down to goal difference. If they win all their games, they're 2 points above us. You know, nothing to do with goal difference.
They've only got to draw a game.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So why are we worrying about goal difference? All we got to do, win our games. But I think, win them. If it came down to we'd know it. We'd know a goal difference thing by the last game, wouldn't we? We'd know a goal difference thing by the last game.
I was actually going to agree with you.
Oh, okay.
Because
I keep hearing this thing. It's driving me nuts when everyone keeps going on.
I was going to say the reasons why is because if it comes down to goal difference, it means that City have dropped points. So they've either lost or they've drawn, which means that they haven't had so much of an opportunity to increase that goal difference.
They'd have to have drawn.
Yeah, and there was actually something else you said previously that first of all I disagreed with, and then I came round to your way of thinking when you said that this will be the best, best thing Arsenal have ever done in their history is win this championship. And automatically I thought, no, that's incorrect because the maximum we get is 89 points. In the Invincibles, we got 90 points. But everything else you say around that, when you take the context of where we started when Arteta took over and what we're up against in Manchester City, I do agree.
Yeah.
That if we do win it...
Better than 89?
Look, it's different. I mean, 89, from an emotional perspective, was the greatest moment in the history of the universe. But this in itself as a performance, and you look at it in footballing terms, will probably be the greatest achievement.
You know the other thing about this one as well, right? It's not one team that you're up. You know, a lot of titles we've won. It's been us and United and stuff like that, us and Liverpool. This has been 3 teams. I know a lot of people are writing off Liverpool from it now, but they have been in it right up until, like, say, possibly last week they threw it away.
2002 it was 3 teams.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't
it's
happen
like,
really.
you know.
But I just think if Arteta... So I was asked earlier in the season, as we all were, would you rather the Premier League or the Champions League? Which I always think is quite a funny question. Well, we've not won one ever, and we haven't won the other 20 years. But go on then, what would I choose? And, you know... Naturally, I want to say Champions League because we've never won it, and I feel like we need that in our history. But for this season alone, the minute Klopp kind of announced it was his last year, it became, I want the Premier League because I want Arteta to beat those 2 to it. I just think all season, for some reason, Arsenal was so written off by the media. There were clips going around of what pundits were saying at the end of last season, saying, well, Man United might be up there, and you know Liverpool will be back.
Chelsea.
I was like, Arsenal just challenged. Yeah. Why are you overlooking this incredibly young squad, incredibly young manager, who are adding great players, and discounting them from it? And now here we are, we're the ones left going toe-to-toe with City. I would love it if we rose above all that and claimed... Well, denied Pep history with the 4 in a row, denied Klopp the big farewell, and Arteta got his first in what I believe, if he gets this one, will be the first of many. I genuinely believe that because he's that talented. It's a young group. It's a young manager. So I think this would be, look, where ranks with the Invincibles. I wasn't a fan back then. Well, I was, but I was so young. Like, I don't know. I can't compare if we did it now to that feeling. We laughing at it.
No, I was just saying, like, rub it in, why don't you? Like, you know what I mean? But go on.
What in? What?
I don't remember the Invincibles.
Well, how young I am.
Yeah.
You're 28, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was 8 years old.
Yeah, 8, 9. Which
It's incredible when you think about it.
But,
like, you know, if you'd be really honest, if someone would have said to you, and after that Invincibles, it'd be 20 years and you still ain't won it, you'd laugh at them. You know what I mean? It is, you know, we've been on an incredible journey, really, haven't we, since then?
There we go.
You know, of ups and downs, really.
But there hasn't been the ups to the level that we were used to.
No, it hasn't, not, you know.
Because we're winning the league on a semi-regular basis.
But the last couple of years have been, I know we haven't won the league and all that, like, but the last 2 years have been fantastic to follow the team and everything like that.
Challenging. That's what we wanted to do.
You know, and you know, look, it could happen. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, if it doesn't happen, I believe going into next year, if we do the right things, we'd be really, you know, De Bruyne will be another year older. I do think that, and the greatest thing about this Arsenal team is that most of our top players are not even in their prime yet.
Yeah,
they've got, you know, so we're on the start of what hopefully will be a very, very good journey.
Let's talk about this 11 then, because everyone's fit. Everyone's fit and available. Arteta said he's got a headache, and fair enough. Okay, let's start with the 11, because asking Turkish and Laurie on the predicted 11 video, go check it out in the break, by the way, if you haven't seen it. We had a good debate around Jury and Timber. He's this kind of player that we think, when fully fit, is going to be an upgrade on what we've got in the back 4. But he can't be ready, can he? Surely. Like, you know, does he even make the bench? What are you guys thinking?
Maybe.
Do we see him this season?
No, not for me.
Yeah, and
maybe the bench.
Yeah, I'd put him on the bench. I wouldn't put him near the first team just yet.
Do you know
who misses out? I mean, we're going to build all this, right? So let's build our 11. Should we assume? Anyone think there'll be any changes from last week?
I think
at least 2.
I think there's only 3 changes.
Goalkeeper.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
He's joking. We've had this conversation over breakfast.
Remember
he's not serious.
He's like, you know, he had a poor game against Bayern Munich.
Remember Ramsdale against Bournemouth last year?
Yeah.
All right. So I wouldn't be changing nothing.
I remember him at White. I remember having a very, very good, comfortable day at Tottenham's ground, and I didn't have a comfortable game.
You seriously changed the goalkeeper today?
No, I wouldn't change it, but he's not been brilliant. But
you look at that last 20 minutes after he
I
made
thought
that
he was
mistake.
Brilliant in the last
he was
20
brilliant,
minutes.
And that's why they didn't have much to do.
What would be the other changes, mate? You said a couple of changes.
I'm bringing in Martinelli today.
I thought his cameo was good against Spurs.
I didn't give it. I didn't get it at the time because he was gone, physically and mentally gone. But he come on to actually stretch him and do everything in the game. But because of Raya's mistake, he had to do a different game and he had to do it for the team. And I think that he played that last 20 minutes for the team and not himself, which, for wide players, sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah, listen, no, not for me, man. Like, Trossard starts for me, right? He's on form, all right? Last week, like you said, different type of game. He had to do a lot of defending in that game. But he's the on-form player who's been scoring goals. He scored at the Emirates in the last game. I think he scored at the Emirates the last 2 games, wasn't he?
Yeah. I think he played your best team, though.
He got the opener at Wolves, he got the opener against Chelsea.
Opener
the guy
against-
gets big goals.
And to me, right, in games like this, which are going to be, the longer that goes on, if we haven't scored, that's when the pressure builds and that. You want as many goal scorers on that pitch as possible, and he's on form. And Martinelli in recent times hasn't been. So to me, personally, that's just my personal opinion, I'd stick with Trossard on that left. He starts for me.
I agree. So you bring Martinelli and I'd go Trossard, Robert goes Trossard.
Yeah, I think there's only 3 positions that are up for debate. And on the left side, I would put Martinelli because I've looked at the Bournemouth right back and he's probably their weak link. He's ageing a little bit. He's a little bit slow, so put a bit of pace against him.
Okay, fair enough. Now,
Zinchenko comes in today as well.
Yeah,
That's
I'd
another
agree with that
challenge.
one.
No,
And Partey,
I wouldn't do that.
I'd have Zinchenko.
I'd actually bring in Zinchenko as
Really?
well.
Yeah.
I think.
Why?
I think just
What am I
because I
missing?
think it could be one of those games where we get a lot of possession,
Yeah,
right?
exactly that reason.
And
They're a good team, Bournemouth,
They-
man.
they-
They start attacking the flanks.
It can handle it, Zinchenko. I feel
They're a good team.
No, and I'm not Zinchenko. Like, listen, I'm actually a big Zinchenko fan, but it's quite a change to go. We've had the sturdiness of a Tomiyasu and a Kivior to suddenly go. We want what you offer on the ball.
No, but didn't Zinchenko start the last game at home, didn't he? And I
did
kind
start the Villa game.
I kind of prefer him to start and then for later on he comes off and we solidify it up later on. But I just feel that in a game that we're probably going to get a lot of possession in, that we're going to be on the front foot in, it might be a good game to start him in. So he can get on the ball in the middle of the park, help to control the game for us. Because we need goals, man. We do these sort of pressure games is about getting goals, and if you can get a couple of early goals or get an early goal, that really does change the complexion of the game. You know what I mean? Yeah. We saw that Villa game. It was going a long time, no goals scored. All of a sudden, everything changed. So
I wouldn't play. I just wouldn't play Zinni because it's just been so chaotic when he's in the team. Like. On the ball, we can look exciting and fluid. I think Jesus is part of that too. But when those two are playing, there's something more random about Arsenal. It feels like the game we can have it in our grasp, we can lose it. I think Villa was an example of that, where we looked brilliant. We should have been 3-0 up at half time, but second half we just couldn't really get back into the rhythm of things. I'll stick with Havertz and Tomiyasu purely because I think they're more reliable.
If we just round off the Zinchenko move, I would have him there from a defensive perspective as well, because the way Bournemouth play, they're high press, so we want to play around them. And Zinchenko's far more comfortable on the ball playing out of defence. So it's another way of controlling them and not giving the ball away. Where I just think Tommy, he just isn't as comfortable on the ball playing that kind of tight football to get it out of defence.
I'll play Zinchenko this game and back to Tomiyasu at Old Trafford.
Oh yeah, Old Trafford now. I mean, away from home, that's Tomiyasu all day long. I just feel that in this game against Bournemouth at home, I would go Zinchenko. That'd be my only change. I wouldn't make it, for me personally, I wouldn't change anything else.
Turkish is disagreeing with you all. He's come in, he's saying Zinchenko's effed up in many games where we have a lot of the ball. That's not a good enough reason. He then says we've got Partey, Rice and Erdegaard, but need Zinni for control. No.
If you doubt a Turkish wouldn't be playing Havertz.
Tell Turkish, you know what I mean? Like, go and play Space Invaders.
And we wouldn't have Arteta as manager either.
I've got one for you all. I think Jorginho could come in for this.
What, really? In place of who?
Partey.
Havertz?
Partey.
Why?
Because Partey's clearly... The guy's been fit since February, but his minutes have been so stringently managed.
He played on Sunday.
No.
I know, but I just think he played 2 games in a week last time. The guy has been riddled with injuries since he arrived at Arsenal this season.
To me, if he's fit now, right? So he's right, and he just played on. It ain't like the game's 3 days later. He played on Sunday. He's had all week.
I'd agree if
he's fit because the manager said everyone's fit.
And that's then 2 weeks before his next game.
If there were any other player, I'd agree. But this is Thomas Partey. The guy is made of glass. Like I can
There's
honestly
only 3 games left,
and we got 8 days till the United game. More than a week for him to recover.
I agree.
I'll be very disappointed if Partey ain't playing.
The guy came on against Sheffield United when we were 5-6-0 up or whatever, but he couldn't start the Bayern games. They were weeks.
But he started the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Which is a
I know,
mistake.
but do you not get-
and those
Which is a
games are
mistake.
like.
I
But
think
you
he
guys
came in
not
a
see where
week
I'm
too
coming
early.
from.
late.
He got minutes against
No.
Sheffield United, and over a month later,
But
I
he
think it
started.
was over a month
Yeah, but
later,
James, he started.
wasn't available for
yeah,
that.
but he played 2 games almost like 3 days.
I
apart.
know, I get it. I'm just saying his minutes so much. Look, I would start him. It wouldn't surprise me if Jorginho came in, but let's see.
That's your Italian bias coming into it there. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Has he been good this season, Jorginho?
I think he's been
Are you
fantastic.
happy he's getting a new contract?
Yes, and
Do you think his experience is important to the team?
yes, everything
Okay,
like that.
well, there we go.
I
Is he Italian?
not
Yeah.
really, no.
He was Brazilian, wasn't he? But he plays for
But he
Italy.
plays for your national side, like, you know, and you like him for that reason.
Well, I'm
which
Ita-
I
I'm
understand.
Italian every 4 years as
but
well, to be
yeah, and
fair.
listen,
The Euros are
I think
coming,
he's
you
done
know.
fantastically well for us, and I think he has a role to play at Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I just think Thomas Partey just gives. Do you know what I say about Thomas Partey? Look at I think that Declan Rice was just flagging a little bit in a couple of games. Odegaard, he just made them better players again.
Yeah.
And that's the reason. I hear what you're saying, but for me, Thomas Partey.
Of course, I want Partey to start. I'm just saying, it wouldn't surprise me if
I see what you're saying.
behind the scenes there was a.
I'll be
a
disappointed if
fitness
he's not
reason.
starting
No,
these
of
next
course,
3
of
games.
course, so do I. It's our best midfield.
Yeah.
No one has. Honestly, I've been calling for that midfield all season. Even when the Havertz experiment was happening, I was like, just get these guys together. But
And
yeah.
also, can I just say, like, I thought he was brilliant at Tottenham. And
Yeah, he was,
and
yeah.
at 70%, he ain't nowhere near 100%
No, I agree with
yet.
that.
Like,
I
you
agree
know.
with
He's getting, I wouldn't say 70%. I mean, the reason why they've held him back
What are you saying?
is because
75?
No, I would say he's getting to around
80.
85.
There we go.
Next.
Let's build the subs bench. Something we never do on this show, but this is a genuine headache for Arteta now. What are we going with? The rumours are Timber hasn't made the squad, but let's assume everyone's fully fit, which is what he's saying.
Yep.
Obviously, Ramsdale makes it, and then you've got 8 other positions to fill.
Well,
Who have you got? You've got.
Smith Rowe.
Well, let's go
What,
through the defenders.
Kivior?
So you're going to have Kivior, Zinchenko, and Timber would be that third sort of right back, wouldn't he?
Well, then we don't need Timber on there because we've got enough defensive cover.
Yeah.
What in Kivior, and what if White gets injured? Tomiyasu moves over.
Yeah,
and
Tomiyasu moves over and
Yeah,
Kivior
okay.
comes there.
Cedric on the bench.
No.
Cedric's not even on the bench.
Cedric and El Neni have sort of moved
Yeah.
out of it now.
I'd like
haven't
to see Reece Nelson on the bench because remember this was the game last year that
they? Yeah, I think he will be,
in
wouldn't he? Eddie will be
and-
on the bench.
you know. Remember Reece Nelson saved our skin in this
Yeah.
game last year. So
That is true.
Jorginho,
So,
mate,
so
Jorginho.
Jorginho will be on the bench. Vieira,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
5. Smith Rowe,
yeah,
Yeah, Eddie.
Eddie,
So you have to drop Eddie there.
Nelson, Jesus. That's your 9.
So
No,
one's got
Timber.
So
No, 9's fine.
Yeah, but the assumption is Timber is on the bench then.
If Timber's on the bench, then one of them
if
goes.
Timber's on
I
the
thought it's
bench,
8 subs, isn't it?
9.
Is it 9?
yeah. So if Timber's
9,
on,
right?
if Timber's on
Yeah.
the bench, who do you take out?
If Timber's on the bench, my bench is Ramsdale, Timber, Kivior, Zinchenko, Jorginho, Vieira, Smith Rowe, Nelson, Jesus. Eddie wouldn't make it
Okay,
because we've got a winger, we've got a striker.
but
You've got-
then you're assuming by taking Eddie off the bench, then you wouldn't need to chase the game because the only
You've got
situation.
Jesus, Vieira, Smith Rowe, Nelson. You chase it with those.
Well, he's always throwing Eddie on at the last minute, isn't
I
he?
hear it, I hear
He's
it.
one of those kind of
I wouldn't
last
leave
chance.
Eddie out for Timber.
Martinelli. Oh my God, I forgot Martinelli. Oh, that's such a good point because he wouldn't be the Trossard starting.
Martinelli would
Smith
have to be on
Rowe's
the bench.
out. No, Nelson's out.
Yeah,
so it'd be
Nelson-
Jesus, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Vieira. But I weirdly think Nelson's a bigger impact player than Smith Rowe.
yeah.
Hey, this is a real
Martinelli ain't going to
headache.
be on the bench, you know. He's starting today, like, yeah.
Then Trossard.
Yeah, but then it is.
Trossard
Yeah.
would have to be on the. Well, either one of them two's on
Oh
the
my
bench.
word!
It's actually an important decision because whoever
It's
you
huge.
take off the bench is almost definitely there.
I wouldn't bring Timber wouldn't get on my bench.
Yeah, he wouldn't get on the bench, but if he's on there and you took one of the other players out, that would be symbolic as much as they wouldn't be there next season.
Super
they're
chat
so
of a-
far down the pecking
Super chat
order.
by Kahedra who says if we have either Partey or Jorginho playing, we don't need Zinchenko. He's a liability. Not sure what happened to the free board's memory.
I'm glad you read
Right.
that one out because I wasn't going to dare.
I
free
don't
what?
think I don't think he's as much as a liability as everyone keeps making out.
Gone over my head,
Right,
yeah.
you know, I'd play Zinchenko in this game. I certainly are.
We'll find out very soon. There are other super chats as well. Louis says,
can I just address that? Was he a liability against Brighton?
no.
Right.
No,
Where's this
yeah.
liability keep coming? One game here,
it's
we had that
overdone.
game against
I agree.
Liverpool,
I agree. It's
well
overdone.
overcooked.
Listen, he
I
does.
agree,
Listen, he does. I ain't gonna admit he does sometimes. Like you're like, yo, what are you doing, bro? You know what I mean? You didn't need to do that, but he's a risk and reward player.
Does every other,
but to me,
he makes mistakes. Does every other player make mistakes? I see Raya make a mistake last week. He's brushed aside. I see Declan Rice make a mistake last week. He's brushed aside. As soon as Zinchenko makes a mistake, it's highlighted 10 times.
Yeah, he does make more than those.
But that's
He makes more.
That's because he's on the ball more. So if he's on the
I
ball
just
more, he's
think
got more chance of
You
giving
know what
it
the thing
away.
is, right? But I do see where people are coming from
Yeah.
because sometimes he makes mistakes that he don't need to make. Like,
Yes,
you know what I
I
mean?
agree.
They're like, you're like, yo, you had an easy pass there and you tried some intricate thing and you got caught on the ball that nearly led to us. Or
Yeah.
he switches off when, you know what I mean? I get that, but I just feel that in a game like today, I'd start him and then later on I'd bring him off because I just feel that just to get that added control in the midfield,
Yeah.
I think this is a game for him against Bournemouth.
I
you
also
know?
think last season's Zinchenko, I'd be doing exactly what you're doing, which is like, can you all relax? But this season's Zinchenko hasn't given us
I
as much.
think
Whereas with Raya and Rice and their errors, at least we can see where they've improved the team. Whereas Zinchenko, I haven't seen where we've been better.
I don't think.
Zinchenko's
I agree with that. I don't think Zinchenko's had a better season than last season, and by his standards, he's been poor, right? But he's not a liability. He's not a liability.
I'd largely agree with that.
He's a risk.
Moments, yeah.
He's
a
had
risk.
He's not had one of his better seasons. But
And the other thing I
he
think...
don't become a bad player overnight.
You know the other thing with this Bournemouth? It'll be interesting to see how they play. They've got nothing to lose. They might just, I mean, their manager plays free-flowing football. They might just come and just say, you know what, let's have a go. So it may not be the usual performance that we'd see from a Bournemouth who maybe come, you know, trying to get a point, maybe sitting. They might just say, you know what, we're safe. They're on form. We go, yeah, let's go and have a go, man. Let's have a go.
I think they will come and have a go, yeah. Yep.
It's a difficult one.
Got some super chats for the 11 is announced by Mikel Arteta. Lewis says, didn't see Partey in training videos. Hope he is okay. We haven't heard anything, so hopefully he absolutely is. Paul says, I had a dream yesterday that Man City lost 2-1. I hope your dreams come true.
Inshallah.
Mark says, Arsenal in 2024, 13 wins, 48 goals, 40 points, conceded only 8 with a plus 40 goal difference and 9 clean sheets. We are first in every department. I think we should just focus on keep performing like how we currently are. Can you believe that might not win us the title? It's just depressing.
Man City, man, they've done that before to Liverpool over the years. Like, what, Liverpool got 99 points.
So I had the realisation.
Still didn't win.
It was 97.
Huh?
It was 97.
97?
I
Still didn't win
Can
it.
you believe him? I had the realisation, right, that one of two things is going to happen.
Get your facts right, Rob.
If we win all our games between now and the end of the season, but City win theirs, that incredible run won't have won us the title. But if you flip that and City win 3 and draw 1, they'll have been undefeated since December and they won't have won the title.
Oh, it's just
Like,
incredible.
it's just like one. We're talking one minor. That one bad day against Villa, who are going to get Champions League football, they're a good team against a good manager, Nuno Emery, might be the day. Like, isn't that incredible?
They lost 2 games on the spin, City. They lost to us and then Aston Villa, and that's it. That was back in December. You know when we beat them 1-0?
Yeah.
They then went to midweek against Aston Villa and lost. And they haven't lost since. That's incredible.
I know. Darren with Super Chat says, Riot Golden Glove guaranteed today. Come on, you Gunners. He's going for a 3-0 win. I think that's all confirmed because Pickford conceded yesterday.
Yeah.
So congratulations to David Raya.
Yeah, well done, David. Well done.
Vikram says, Tom, look at you. Tom improved on the ball with nice turns and moves. He's talking about Tomiyasu. You read the Kahugu Super Chat as well. The 11 will be out in how long?
2 minutes.
We'll be finding out very, very soon what the 11 is. S says, problem is Zinni doesn't make up for it defensively, but like you said, I sort of wonder if it's a little bit overblown, how much of a liability he can be at the back. All right, everyone, let's get some... Well, no, should we save the score predictions for the 11?
Yeah.
All right, we'll save it for then. Anyone got hope of Wolves doing anything today, or is it just keep it moving? Yeah. No?
No.
Pedro Neto back?
Is he?
Yeah, apparently.
That's good news.
Yeah,
keep it moving.
Pablo Sarabia playing.
I think you have to grab on.
Right, Nori.
You have to grab onto the positives of hoping that it will happen. And you know, you look at Wolves, they weren't too bad against us. If you look at City,
That weren't at the Etihad, though.
yeah, but if you look at City last week, they looked pretty poor against Forest. It was only because of
what you need is
couldn't score from 3 yards.
What you need is a game like we had against West Ham, where Man City had 30 odd shots, and it's just one of those games that don't happen for them.
Yeah, or alternatively, a City player gets sent off in the first
Yeah,
minute.
that's another thing,
Yeah,
which
that'd
could
be good,
happen. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like Edison and Rodri have a fight.
Yeah, that'd be
You
perfect.
know what I mean? Like,
You lot sounded very
both
desperate.
beat each other up and both get sent
But
off.
you've got to
and
live in hope, haven't you?
Something like that.
Otherwise, you can't,
I think I'll
you
keep
can't
it-
enjoy the Bournemouth game.
I think I'll keep
if
it
you're going to
moving,
just
man.
think that the Bournemouth,
There's
Oh,
your
and
thing.
the
the Wolves
Brighton
are
have
going to
a
get rolled
falling out.
over.
You know
I
what I mean?
can't even watch that game. You know, later on, I can't even
you
watch
No,
it.
I'm not
watch
even.
it.
I'm not
If
even going to watch it.
No, you
I-
have to watch
okay,
it.
let me tell you exactly what's going to happen in that
Can't watch
City.
it.
If we win today, this is what's going to happen in that City game. We'll all just go about our Saturday night. We'll all just sort of, not watching.
Alert, no, I've got the team first before you.
Go on.
Alert. In goal, Raya.
Hey.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, sorry.
Ben White,
Another day.
Heartbreak, another day.
William Saliba, Gabriel, and
Tommy Asu.
Zinchenko.
Zinchenko.
Tommy Asu. It is Tommy Asu who starts. Midfield of Martin
hanging.
You better
Odegaard,
not have a shocker, I tell you.
Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and
Thomas Partey.
I think it'll be Thomas Partey. I don't have it in front of me.
Thomas Partey.
you sure? All three of you, yeah?
Positive.
All three of you sure?
Yeah,
Would
scared.
would
come
all
on.
three of you? Wait a minute. Would all three of you right now put £100 down on that?
Yes.
Being Thomas Partey.
It depends what the odds are and who's going to pay.
Just put
Are
100.
you
You lose
Man-
£100.
man
Would you
of
put it
class.
Yes,
down?
I'm putting me £100
Putting
down.
your £100 down?
Yeah, all right.
You putting yours
Yeah,
down?
who's paying?
Oh, you're putting it down.
But, oh, you give me a 300 back.
Okay, Finn, it's Thomas Partey.
Yeah, of course it is.
That's right. And up front, Saka, Kai Havertz, and
Martinelli.
Trossard.
Martinelli.
are you put £100 down
50.
now?
I'm putting 50.
50.
Yeah, if you,
He's so tight. You don't even.
no, so if you,
5p?
If you guarantee £100 back,
I'll do 20
Yeah.
quid on it.
Martinelli.
Trossard gets the way. It's Trossard,
didn't have it
and on the
look at
bench,
Look at that. I
the
just
bench
looked at
is
it, I know.
Ramsdale,
Oh, the comments are
Zinchenko,
coming in, to be fair.
Jakob Kivior, Jorginho, Emil Smith-Rowe, Fabio Vieira, Eddie Nketiah, Martinelli, and Jesus. So no Reece Nelson on the bench. Remember
No
last
Timber,
year?
right?
No Timber.
And no Timber on the bench.
Is Eddie on the bench or not?
yeah, he's on the bench.
Yeah, Eddie's on the bench.
Okay.
Bournemouth team is. Where'd that go? Mark Travers in goal. Adam Smith.
He's the weak link.
You Adam Smith.
Oh, he's scoring now, isn't he?
Senesi, Zabari, Clivert, Cook, Semenya, Alex Scott. You remember you met him
Yeah,
when we went to
Alex
the
Scott,
game.
yeah.
Good player.
Yeah,
Ryan
top player.
Christie and Dominic Solanke. That is their team.
So they've got
play.
some Menu backs. He was an injury down.
Yeah, Semenya's
player.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some good players.
He's a good player, by the
They
way.
play
that's
good
Semenya.
football under
Yeah.
Iraola. No Timber on the bench,
Just to
confirmed.
say about Bournemouth, you know what I mean? We've all been there, like, 11,000 crowd, at stadium. So to do what they've done this season is.
But also to
To
do
even
it
be
with all
in
the
Premier
scrutiny.
League is
Yeah, it's
just
remarkable.
amazing.
Remarkable.
It's an amazing club.
I think to do it with all the scrutiny as well, because they let Gary O'Neill go, and it was more of a style thing. It wasn't because of the results he put
They
up.
weren't happy about that at the beginning of the season, were they?
Well, a lot of the media were like, "What are you doing?" You know, almost that kind of like belittling. You know, you got a good thing. What are you doing? But they had bigger aspirations. Iraola could get them in the top 10 now. Although O'Neill could do that with Wolves, so you better win today, Gary O'Neill. I was going to say, this is what's going to happen. We're all going to go. If we beat Bournemouth, we're going to go about Saturday night pretending City aren't playing because they're probably just going to win, and then we'll all get that message. Neto! And then we'll all turn on our TVs
Yeah, and then
like a
like,
bunch
yeah.
of suckers.
Yeah.
And then
And they
4-1.
score. Yeah.
That's exactly.
That's what I'm not going to do. I am
100%
going.
We'll go, maybe.
I ain't watching
and then
it,
we'll
though.
turn it on, and Rodri will just plant one in the top corner.
Yeah, I watch
and you'll go, they always find a way.
I remember
And then
coming
they'll
home
batter
from
them.
Burnley. We'd beaten Burnley 6-0, and Man City were playing Chelsea. And we was going back to the station. I was staying in Manchester, so I was going back, and it was Chelsea 1-0 up, like, you know what I mean, and then like everybody's putting it on their phones, you know what I mean, to watch it on the way back, like, and right at the end, Man City
But
scored.
they still drop points.
Yeah, they did drop points, and that's why I don't ever go. Like people going about Spurs doing us a favour. They've done us a favour, Spurs and Chelsea have done us a favour by getting results at the Etihad. You keep relying on teams somewhere. I love Wolves. I love their kit. I like, you know what I mean? Steve Ball and all that. Like, come on, Wolves. You know
I'll
what
keep
I mean?
it moving, mate.
All right, everyone, those are the 11s. Just a reminder of the Arsenal team. It's unchanged. It's Raya in goal with White-Sleeper, Gabriel Tomiyasu.
What's the point of doing
Rice,
this?
Partey, Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, Havertz. I know what you mean. As we just go live 1 minute
50
before.
quid,
mate. Yeah.
Same team. See you later. Smash the like
Well,
button.
listen, you know what? It's a good thing that
Yeah.
everyone's fit in it. I mean, you know, that again bodes well for now to the end of the season.
And it's a great boost for someone like Trossard. You know, I'm not saying that he should have been outside. I think like Martinelli, whatever. But that is, at this moment in time, if you're in that team, Tomiyasu, you can go into it as well. Everybody's available and you're in it. You know, and that's a big boost for the likes of Trossard. All of a sudden, probably a year ago, was bought as a squad player, but now everybody's fit. You're in the starting 11, so you know, great confidence boost.
Let's see how it all pans out. Of course, we will be reacting to it every kick of a ball here on AFTV during the watch along. Lee, your score prediction?
4-0. I'm going to go for it. Come on, let's go for it. Let's have a good day.
2-1. Because I'm going to the game and I never go to the nice, relaxing, chill ones.
But this could be the one.
I go to
It's law of
stress.
probability that you'll see a 4-5-0 today because you've not seen one.
Yeah, no,
and you should have done.
We're losing, thanks. Go on, Julian, you're up.
So I think if you look at Bournemouth, when they've played the top 5 teams, they've had an aggregate score of 15-4 against.
Did you ask for a
Did you ask for that analysis?
There's a
Did we ask for
justification.
an analysis or a prediction?
I haven't finished.
They're shutting the gates.
Yeah.
Can we...
I think in 10 of their 35 games,
City's
they've
kicking up in a minute.
conceded 3 or
My
more
ticket no longer
goals.
works.
Therefore, I think it will be 4-0 to the Arsenal.
All that just to agree with you.
Yeah, that's
All
it.
that.
Just
You
can't
could have
have
just gone what Lee said.
No, but he just comes up with things, and I justify them.
Good on you, Julian.
Yeah.
Robbie?
Try and wake. Can you do? Boom!
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
wake up the audience. So go on.
Let's give you the half-time score now,
Yeah.
just so we can help you out.
I think I'll go 3-1.
3-1.
You know, we desperately need to get that early goal. But I do think there's so much, you know, listen, we're so desperate to win this. It's a cup final for us. Surely we turn up today, and if we turn up, we win. That's how I look on it.
Let's hope. Yeah, listen, title race and all.
You're nervous now. Get up.
Yeah, I am now. Now we're right off the show. I know
Around
I'm
this
about
bit
to make my
time
way.
now, like, I start
I've been
to get a
fine for
little bit
40 minutes,
yeah.
but now I'm like,
Now
it's
you
about
start
to-
talking
yeah.
about it, and you start getting a little. The old nerves start kicking in.
No,
I
you know
suppose
what,
that's a good thing.
I'm not bad now. I'm not bad. After last week, mate, that last 20
That
minutes
was
at
just
Tottenham,
horrible,
man,
isn't it?
when I was looking around at their fans, I was thinking, no, if these lot come on, man, we 3-0, we were
Yeah.
cruising, man. How are we in this situation?
How
They had
good
the
was it?
fans, they had someone behind me and all that. I was thinking, no.
Yeah.
How good was it looking? Like, you know, if I tell you what, 3-0. And I said this, if someone had come down at me and said, right, you're not allowed to watch the game now, you can just watch their fans, I'd have said, yeah, I'll take that. It was an absolute picture. They was quiet, you know what I mean. And I've never seen a crowd at Tottenham, and I've been going a few years to White Hart Lane in the old days. I've never seen a crowd as disconsolate, as quiet as that was.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Let's make it worth something. Everyone, join us for the watch on very soon. We'll be at the game. Of course, there'll be fan cams after the game here from the studio, outside the stadium. It's a sunny day in North London, finally. You wouldn't think it was April the last month, but now we've hit May, the sun's come out. And, of course, the full-time show where you can have your say by downloading the AFTV Plus app. You can have your say completely and utterly for free. Win, lose or draw, we will be there and we want to hear what you all have to say. There will also be a special tactical insight just for Lee out tomorrow, because I know you can't wait.
Is it really like
Yeah.
a bank holiday special? Like,
So if you see Graham outside the ground with his
I'll
notes,
hide.
that's what he's doing. Don't interrupt him.
No.
He'll be doing very clever things. So just leave him to it. But he'll be joining me in the studio after. Well, special
what tonight?
Sunday.
So you're doing it tonight?
We're doing it today after the game. That is commitment. Yeah. And Beres and Razor are in the studio as well for the watch along. So there's so much happening here on AFTV. It's a busy one. It's Arsenal Bournemouth in the 12:30 kickoff. We'll see you all in a little bit. Bye.